Hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on whichever side of the world you're in. Welcome to this meeting today, or this class, Public Speaking Masterclass. We want to speak about public or matters public speaking. Why public speaking? So today I want to share with us why the public speaking course, why should you pursue it, what benefits does it have to you, and why is it as important as it is today for you to have the scale? So again, I will be sharing through this next several weeks, probably 4-5 weeks. I will be running a dry run on this. By dry run, I mean sharing free meetings that you don't have to pay, you don't have to, to incur any expense, as a way of getting you to understand why you need public speaking, and then the skills that this course is likely or is going to equip you with. So feel much welcome. I hope you're going to benefit out of this. I hope it is going to make somebody have some level of confidence in themselves, have some level of ability, have some capacity to communicate, and also be able to express themselves in a way that they are able to be heard. Now, basically, why public speaking? Of course, whether you like it or not, it is an open secret that super communicators get the best jobs. It is also an open secret that super communicators are the best sales gurus. It is also an open secret that people who can communicate, they are the ones who win in politics. And all these things, super communicators, they excel as leaders. Super communicators, they excel as top managers and all that. So literally, that's why it's important that you equip yourself, or you build yourself in the sense of in ensuring that you have the ability and the capacity to speak or to become an effective public speaker. So I hope we switch off our microphones for the purposes of getting to interact with each other, to understand each other, so that you can be able to run together or to move together. So please, you switch off your microphone. Those of us in here, you switch off your microphone so that you can be able to get to understand each other. So it's also, again, an open secret. If you follow across the world, those people are the people in the Hollywood, the talent hotbeds, talk of stars in every field, talk of star salespeople, star athletes, and then talk of any great performance in any world, in any kind of fun in the world. Talk of people who are excelling at whatever level. All these people, they have one thing in common. They are super communicators. They have the ability to communicate. They have the ability to share their minds out. They have the ability to pass the information in such a manner that they are heard, or they are able to be heard across the world, across the globe. And therefore, it is important to develop this skill, this ability world over. Anytime I'm having such a meetings, I normally ask people, look at people like Barack Obama. Barack Obama did not become the president because he was super brilliant, because he was a better position, because he had a good background. Simply, he became the president of the United States of America because he could communicate and articulate his dreams very well. He could advise the world. He could talk to crowds and move the crowds. Look at it. When he went on the podium first time in 2004, campaigning for John Kerry and John Edwards, and this guy shares his story, his origin, his life, the life of his parents from Kenya, the mother from Indonesia, their meeting in America, and all this. You could wonder, what does personal life has to do with the campaigning for somebody when delivering a keynote speech? But this guy was able to click with people, connect with the people because of his oratory skill, his ability to communicate. And then come 4 years later in 2008, when the Americans were again going for politics or were going to choose their president, it was very, very apparent that then Barack Obama was the right character, the right person for that position. And that's why, of course, you come to find out that this guy became the president, not because he was better positioned, but it's because he could communicate. He could articulate his thoughts, he could articulate his mind, he could just sell to people his ideas, his philosophies. Now, in public speaking, we normally say that if you have an idea that you cannot ideally communicate well, that you can't bring out to people, you're no better than that other person who has no idea. If you're the brightest person in a room and yet you can't convince anybody in that room to follow your brightness, to follow your ideas, to follow your philosophies, my friend, you're no better than the dumbest guy or the dumbest lady or the dumbest person in that meeting room. Therefore, public speaking becomes a vital skill, is no longer a soft skill, but is a core skill that we need. Of course, I can go through a number of things, a number of benefits that we're going to get if you become a public speaking expert. Of course, it will improve your selling skills. It will improve your communication skills. These are the benefits of attending this such kind of classes, and particularly this masterclass. So it is going to improve your communication skills. It is going to improve your selling skills. It is going to improve your business presentation skills. You want to woo investors into your business. You want to woo people to buy into your ideas. You want to go to the Shark Tank. You want to go to the Lion's Den. You want to go to Apprentice and all those other programs. Then you need to be able to communicate, to speak, to articulate your business ideas very well. And finally, of course, public speaking. As a public speaking guru, you stand out of the crowd wherever you go. Your ability to communicate makes you stand out, because people will always like great orators. Always, people will get themselves attracted to great orators. It doesn't matter whether they have content, whether they have whatever. Anything else is a sideshow. People can communicate, they will always be liked and loved by people all across. This one is a point I cannot fail to emphasize, that your likability is directly attributable to your ability to communicate, your ability to express yourself. Now know this, that your ability not to merely speak, but to deliver a gravity-defying performance of style over substance. The word is style over substance is what defines greatness in these competitive times. So your ability to deliver a great performance of style over substance. Now listen to this. When Martin Luther King was getting the people to join him in the Selma March, he was getting them to buy into his dreams. He did not have to convince them by virtue of having to put statistics forward, having to put so much information. The guy just came up with an idea, with a dream. And then through his oratory skills, his ability to communicate as a speaker, he was able to sell to these people the dream. So when we listen to Martin Luther King, he does not talk about statistics. He says, I have a dream, and then he is able to sell that dream. Now remember, in this world, it's all about selling. We sell to each other every day, whether we are salespeople or not by default, whether you're practicing the art of selling, we sell to people each day. When you're talking to your kid about their life, about their schooling, about anything, about parenting, you are selling to them the ideologies and philosophies that are going to help them in life. When you're talking to employees, you're selling to them your vision. When you're talking to your seniors, you're selling to them your ideas. When you're talking to your spouse about your family matters, you're selling to them your side of the story, your view. Therefore, selling is not about being just a professional salesman carrying merchandise and going to make presentations, but it's rather a daily skill that we all have. You are either selling products or you are selling ideas. So any moment when you open your mouth to speak, of course, somehow you must be selling. So again, the truth is that those people who can communicate are well revered and respected across the world. We respect people who can express themselves. We refer or we revere and respect people who can frame their words, who can delight our ears. That's why human beings love storytelling. Go back to our traditional cultures and find many cultures communication through storytelling, because people likes hearing, and they likes hearing coherent characters. They like hearing people who can speak coherently and connect the dots and make them to like the story and make them to flow. Therefore, I cannot overemphasize the need or the importance of this masterclass, or why it is vital for you as an individual to take this class. Now, allow me to just give an highlight of this public speaking masterclass. What are you going to benefit with? Of course, we may not exhaust everything in the next 4 or 5 weeks that I'm going to be running the dry run. But again, it's a course worthy emerging or submerging yourself into and pursuing after this. After going through the tidbits for the next four weeks or so, I expect you, of course, now to develop enough curiosity or enough desire to pursue it. Now, this masterclass is going to focus on 4 things. Number one, it is going to focus on you as a presenter. You are the centerpiece of your presentation. It doesn't matter the content. It doesn't matter the statistics. It doesn't matter the information. If you yourself, you are not right, then your message is not going to be bought. I will be mentioning this in the principles of public speaking, that people buy people. They don't buy their products. They don't buy their ideas. They buy people. So the main aim of this masterclass number one is to make you buyable. Can you be bought? When you appear before people, when you appear before an investor, appear before a group of people, appear in your family as a father, as a mother, as a brother, as a sister, whatever the position you hold, can people buy you? That's the question. So the focus of this masterclass number one is going to be on you as the presenter. Then number two, we are going to focus on the presentation. What are you presenting? Yes, you're well dressed, you're well groomed, you're well, thoroughly bred in that area. But then what are you bringing to the table? Always remember, when you open your mouth to communicate, you tell the world who you are. When you open your mouth, anytime you open your mouth, you tell the world who you are. So people are going to judge you based on who you are, based on how or what you communicate. So the second part, we're going to focus on what. First one was who is making the presentation. That's the presenter. Now the second one is going to be on what. What are you presenting? So that's the presentation. And then number three, we are going to focus on people, or we are going to focus on your audience. Who are your audience? Are you connecting with them? Are you able to connect with them? That will be the question that is going to be the focus of the third part of this presentation. So we want to ensure that even as you prepare yourself as the presenter, as you prepare your presentation to go and present to people, you understand your people. And this will teach you on how to research your audience. How do you know the people that are going to meet, decide their desires, their intentions, their ability to get information, what stimulates them, what excites them. Because again, if you cannot speak to people's emotions, you shall be mentioning this. If you don't or you can't speak to people's emotions, then just forget about making an impact in their lives. Just forget about influencing them if you cannot connect with them at an emotional level. And then, of course, number four, we'll be looking at the careers that are found in public speaking. or the professions that you can pursue as a public speaker. You can become a full-time public speaker, you can become a trainer, you can become a salesperson, you can go into politics, you can go into leadership, of course, of whatever sphere, and all this. So we shall be looking at public speaking as a career that is beneficial, whether full-time or part-time. So we shall be dissecting those things. Now, after the class, the question will be, where do I go to apply this knowledge? That's a question that I will be answering at the fifth part of the presentation. Then, once you're done with that, and once we are done with the focus, we are going now to go to the course itself. I've highlighted what the masterclass is going to focus on. So I want to give us a course overview, because I said today again is about giving us an appetizer, the reason for coming back again the next day to come and listen to get this class, the reason to register for these classes. That's what I'm sharing with you today. So let's look at the course overview. And the first part we are going to look at, most probably starting next week, is the history of public speaking. Where did it originate from? Public speaking is not just something that has begun yesterday. It's not something that began with Barack Obama. It's not something that began with Martin Luther King. We are going to date back to times of Aristotle, the great Greek philosopher. We are going to go back and look at people who founded public speaking, particularly in Greek and Rome, because those were the ancient civilizations in Athens, Greece. That's where we have the ideas of public speaking starting on, where we talk about the 5 canons of rhetoric, where we talk about the means of persuasion, the steps in public speaking. These are things that were started by people, the Aristotle and the likes. And then the second part of the course, we shall be looking at principles of public speaking. I'll share about 8 principles that guide public speaking. I will share with you principles that are going to inform your preparations, principles that are going to inform your planning, principles that are going to inform your decisions as a speaker, what not to speak and what to speak, to what audience and to what not audience. So I will be sharing with the principles that guide the tenets, the principles that guide the preparation of a speech, the principles that guide the preparation of a presentation of whatever form, and I will be sharing the 8 principles of public speaking. I bet this is not something that we would want to miss. So I will be sharing with you the 8 principles of public speaking. Then number 3, of course, we shall immerse ourselves into preparation. How do you prepare for a presentation, whether for one-on-one, whether going to present to a crowd? And I will be sharing some experiences, of course. Again, at this point, allow me to tell you that everything, public speaking is a learned skill. You learn it over time. It's not something that are going to be here today and then tomorrow you become perfect. So I'll be sharing also my journey. Where did I start? The messes that I've made. How do I prepare when I'm going maybe for a one-on-one orientation? How do I prepare when I'm going to speak to a group of 100 people, a group of 50 people, a group of whatever the number of people? So I will be sharing with you some insights on how do you prepare your presentation, and also how do you prepare yourself for the presentation as a presenter. And then, of course, the best part of it, it comes to pitch. Now you have prepared yourself, you have prepared the presentation. How do you put across that presentation? So that's the best part of it, of pitching the presentation. You pitch your ideas, you pitch your thoughts, you pitch your presentation to your audience. So how do you do it? And then finally, of course, we'll talk about performance, because every great speech is about performance. If you're not performing, then you're not delivering the message, man. You have to perform. So how do you perform your presentation? It's not just about delivering. It's not about reading the words, not the cold way of reading and, opening the book and reading whatever is inside there, or having a written speech and reading it word for word. It's about performance. Let people feel the energy in your words. Let people feel the flow of energy in your body. Let people feel that you can connect with them, you resonate with them, you are one of them. And these are the things that we're going to be sharing over the next couple of weeks, like 4 or 5 weeks, I've said that we're going to be running this program. But then again, also, it's a program that I hope is going to expose you, to expound you. We shall be doing a lot of speeches. We shall be doing presentations also within here. I shall be giving exercises for people to practice, to learn, to know, what do they need to do? We are going to review various speeches. We're going to talk about speeches of 1653 by an example is Dissolving the Rump Parliament by Oliver Cromwell, one of the immortal speeches that have persisted over time. We're going to look at speeches by people like Abraham Lincoln, the former presidents of the United States, people like Bill Clinton, people like Barack Obama. We are going to review the best and the worst speeches, and then, but above all that theory part of it, my aim and the aim of this masterclass is to ensure that by the time you run through the entire program, you're able to communicate, and not just to communicate, but you're able to influence, and not just to influence, but you're able to cause people to take a thought or a line of action that they could not have otherwise chosen by themselves voluntarily without you being there. So this masterclass is there to transform you, to change you, to convert you from that shy person that you are, from that kind of locked person that you are, to convert you into a guru, a person who can present themselves before a panel, a person who can go before a group of people and speak themselves out and let people know that they are there, and let people know that they have the ability and the capacity and the ideas and whatever that it is. Let me tell you, there is nothing as good as the confidence that comes from knowing that you can stand before anybody, before any group of people, and express yourself without fear, without doubt, and without fearing whatever they are going to say, because you are there to influence them. It's your right to be there. You are there to make a change in their lives. Therefore, I invite you, my friend, I invite you to join me on this journey to get to learn much more about public speaking. I also invite you to subscribe to our various YouTube channels, to our various social media, YouTube channel, that's Mung'athia Samson. Subscribe also to WhatsApp, not WhatsApp, but sorry, on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, all those, and also Facebook. Facebook is a page. They all carry the official name Samson Mung'athia, and that's where you're likely to find me, even as I share more wisdom with you. So I look towards an experience, I look towards a journey, I look towards journeying with you the next few weeks, sharing with you wisdom, sharing with you the ability, sharing with you the capacity, and building and improving your capacity to present as a public speaker. So what I can say for this first session is that see you at the top. You are not limited. You can make it. It doesn't matter where you're beginning. You can begin from zero. You can actually begin from negative with low self-esteem, low self-confidence, low everything that we think about, and become a superstar. Become the next Barack Obama. Become the next, the next Bill Clinton. Become the next Martin Luther King. Become the next person who is influencing the cause of the world, who is influencing the cause of the business, who is influencing the cause of the politics, and all that. So I welcome you. I hope it is going to be an exciting journey to all of us. So let's meet next time. That's next week, a day like today on Tuesday. And then we share more as we start looking at the principles of public speaking. Now, invite your friends, invite your colleagues. This is a free session for the next 4 weeks, like I've said. For the next 4 or 5 weeks, you are running a dry run. So invite your colleagues. Once we share the post on social media, share it out widely, and let's have as many people as possible coming in and benefiting from this. Until next time, bye-bye. I wish you the best.